Hey everybody, welcome to Tanner's Favorite Things. I'm Tanner Knight, and today we've got a quick unboxing for you. Today I've got a new pack of drum heads. This is a Remo drum head pack, and you can see that on the edge here. And what do we have? Here's the back. This is called the Black Suede Emperor Tom Pack. So this is the 12, 13, and 16, so I think you know where this is going on my Yamaha YD7000 set. This set of heads was actually a suggestion from William Perry 3437, a viewer of the channel, so thank you William Perry 3437, a fellow brother in Yamaha. This is for you and for me, obviously. So this is the Suede set, and it's supposed to be a really mellow but warm, rich sounding set of heads from Remo. So this is something I have never tried before, and a set of heads that are new to me. So let's go ahead and get a quick baseline of the Evans EC2 heads that are on the Yamaha set currently, and then we'll swap them out and hear how they sound. Okay, so this video might look a little strange given that I have paint all over me. That's because we are redoing a brand new jam space, and it's gonna look a lot like this one, only it's on the other side of the house. So we're swapping two rooms, this one being slightly larger by about 1.5 inches or 2 inches than the other one, so we shouldn't lose much space, but I'm going to rearrange and really think about the arrangement of everything, including the drum sets. And so this is going to be the last time playing this drum set in this configuration. And just for your awareness, I do have a second drum set, which is actually my first drum set, the Tama Superstars, which are behind the camera, and right now they're kind of on opposing sides of the room. But in the new space, the new room, I don't have a door right here, so I plan to have one kit here, one kit here, and they're kind of occupying either corner. We'll do a reveal of that space later on in this video if you're interested, but for now I want to go ahead and get a baseline of these toms, and then we'll probably wait until we're in the new space to check out the new toms. But for now, let's see what these Evans EC2S heads can do. These are pinstripe clears, and we have a 12, a 13, and a 16. And I didn't get a new head for the kick, unfortunately, but we do have a 22-inch kick and a 14-inch snare. Cymbals today, I've got two Zildjian, kind of 70s, 80s type deal here. Late 70s, early 80s Zildjian, just 18-inch medium or heavy crash. And then we have a 1980s Ping Ride, a 20-inch with a Paiste 2002. I think this is an 18, yeah, Wild Crash 18-inch as well. The snare is a DW Design Series, a 5.5 by 14, and a Zildjian Custom A Pocket 13-inch hi-hat, Tama Iron Cobra kick pedal, and that's what we've got. Let's hear these drums, and then we'll do a quick swap, room swap and everything, and hear the Black Suede. Please excuse the playing. I haven't had a chance to warm up properly at all today, and even if I had, I'd still probably be pretty tired from laying down the flooring. So the drums that I'll be playing today are of course the Yamaha YD7000 series drums from 1982. These are the standard tom sizes, 12 by 8, 13 by 9, 16 by 16 with a 22 by 14. So very classic sizes before we start engaging in the power tom era. So I love these drums, and I'm really interested to hear what they sound like with these new Remo heads. All right, well, hopefully that gives you a good idea of what these very normal sized drums sound like with very normal sized heads, these Evans EC2S in the 12, 13, 16 sizes. Let's go ahead and swap everything around and finish up this video in a new space. All right, as promised, here is the preview of the new studio. The only thing in here right now is this light and the GoPro, of course. We're gonna capture the full load in here in a minute, but that's going to be a time lapse on the GoPro. But this is the new space. Just put in this flooring and these baseboards and took out a bunch of crappy shelving in here. This is going to be where the amps and kind of microphones live, but I think the amps and cabinets will fit nicely in this little old closet. And here we have all of the tile for the adjoining room, which right now is a guest bedroom, but I'd love to knock down this wall and just have both of these rooms be the studio or jam space, whatever you call it. But this is it. Got one window. We're gonna move in starting now. This is the cleanest that this room will ever be, so take it in. All right, so this should be your very first glimpse of the brand new studio. I've swapped rooms in my house and I am now positioned in the corner for the Yamaha set, and you can't see it, but off to my direct left we have the Tama Superstar, so dueling kits in either corner. And I have all of the sound baffling that I had in the other room, and all of the other dimensions are the same for the most part. So this should sound pretty much the same from a room ambiance standpoint. Otherwise, we're just doing close miking anyway. I don't have my overheads set up properly just yet. That's a work in progress. But we do have the close-up mics here, so it should be pretty much same. We have the same mic complement, same drums, obviously, but we do have this set of heads that I just put on there. This is the Remo Suede Emperor 3-pack, I guess. And what it says about the Emperor is that it has a warm tone, a medium sustain, and a maximum durability. So these are trying to compete with Evans on the durability scale. The Evans heads just last longer. They just last longer. I don't know if it's because of the composition of the plastic they use or how it's stretched or whatever, but it's just a little more durable than the Remo heads. So the Emperor is trying to kind of compete with that Evans in durability, and as a result the sound is pretty similar from what I've heard just banging on these. And then it says that the Suede, the SU variant, is warm and has a mid-rangey sound. So this should be a very vintage-esque sound. This is a vintage kit, or I like to think it's vintage. It's over 40 years old, so that qualifies for me. But I think that these will match very well. And again, what came off of here were Evans heads. So let's just go ahead and hear these toms with the new Remo Emperor Black Suedes on there and see what they sound like. Before we do that, just one word of caution. These are very matte in their finish, in that it's not shiny or glossy, it's very matte. That's just the word for it. And as a result, if you use especially like lithium grease on your tension rods, then if you just touch the head, then that grease it'll be very apparent and you have to wipe it off pretty immediately or else it will leave a permanent stain. So just be aware of that these are a bit more susceptible to anything that might leave a mark on them. As far as hitting strikes goes, stick strikes, it doesn't appear to be too damaging to these heads, so I think that they will last quite a while. I associate the Suede with more of a softer, like a calf skin, almost an old school style. So they typically won't be as durable, but with the Emperor, maybe they're just thick enough where they are durable. So we shall see over a long-term period. But let's hear these. Here's the 12-inch, 13, and then a 16-inch. All the rest of this kit is exactly the same. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen, obviously without the earplugs and with full sonic possibilities that are available to me with the headphones, and see exactly what the actual tonal differences are. But based on just hearing it from behind the kit with earplugs, I would say that these are mellower. They're not necessarily as aggressive as the clear heads or the Evans heads that were on here. They have a more vintagey sound, whether you think 70s or 60s or 80s for that. That's up to you. I tend to think of it as kind of early 80s and back into the 60s, and it's just a more vintagey sound for this old school drum set. I can say that these heads tuned up really easily. I have a feeling that that's more due to the fact that these are a kind of a rounded bearing edge, very forgiving and very easy to tune most heads, but these were exceptionally easy to tune. I did it by ear. I didn't get the tune bot on there because the brand new heads are typically just like guitar strings. They have a little bit of compliance that needs to be worked out, and you can go ahead and press on them and get a little bit of that squeegee out of there, but it just takes a little bit of time, and eventually they set to a spot where they don't stretch anymore. But that's typically when I'll get the tune bot on there and tune them a bit more sophisticated. But for now, I just held the back and listened to each individual lug and found kind of a unity as far as tuning goes. And they sound really good. I like them. They're punchy as far as the stick response. They don't wallow or make the stick die in any way. They're very responsive, and yeah, I would say that the Emperor Black Suede is a nice option if you're looking for a little mellower, maybe a little vintagier sound from the Remo Made in USA line. I'm going to roll with these heads for the time being. I may switch back and forth between the Evans. We'll see. I don't know if there's any need to do any more comparisons beyond that. But regardless, this is a very nice set of heads from Remo. It was on back order for me, so I had to wait quite a bit to get these heads in my hands. And then I went and redid my whole space here, so that took a few extra days as well. But the bottom line is that this is a really, really nice feeling product out of the box from Remo. And, you know, I do want to say one thing. I've heard whispers and kind of murmurs of people saying that Remo has gone downhill in the last 10 or so years. And there's a lot of factors that might go into that, which we're not going to really get into here. But I do want to say that it's still the #1 head manufacturer in the world. And I believe Remo makes more drum heads than anyone else still to this day. And that's not the only mark of a quality company, obviously, but they've been doing it longer than anybody, and they have the technology to make really great heads moving into the future. And I don't think that they're all bad, but there's probably some quality control issues that they're working out. So I wouldn't go to sleep on Remo entirely, but I do hear chatter that Evans is starting to overtake them as far as what's a head that I can trust in every single circumstance. And I think both Remo and Evans, and even Aquarian, you know, I don't want to sleep on Aquarian as well. They make some really fine heads as well. They're all good companies, all good heads at this point, and you may find a crappy product here and there, but for the most part, you're going to get a pretty reliably good product from all three of those drumhead manufacturers. So let me know your thoughts on the matter, and if you have a preference between Remo, Aquarian, or Evans, or even a different brand that we haven't mentioned here, and we can talk about it and maybe get them on this channel and compare them head to head against these more known commodity heads. So like and subscribe if you like this type of content. That always helps, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.